The first video that I've actually have notes. I wrote notes. So, are your robotic affirmations not working? Because that has happened to me, and there's 5 common mistakes, 5 easy mistakes we make. They're easily avoidable, and I wanted to break it down because my channel lately has been about robotic affirmations. So we're gonna break it down so we don't hit these blockers. I want to call them blockers. They're manifestation blockers. I just dropped my mic. Alright, 5 mistakes, alright? I wrote this down. This is the first video I've actually put, written practice into. So, hopefully it's good, guys. Why did I write like this? Alright, lack of beliefs. The first one is lack of beliefs. And I have here, affirmations tend to be the tool we use to instill belief, right? We need to instill belief. That's the whole point of affirmation. We're installing like a computer program into our head through a external device. We're using like a hard drive or external USB to plug into our minds. That's what an affirmation is. That's what a robotic affirmation is. It's an external hardware device that we can install. We can install actual software into our minds. But what does that mean? We're installing a belief. We're installing a belief that we already have what we're affirming. And it is better to start off with something that your computer can run. What can my computer run? What can my computer actually run? My computer can believe that I'll be good at chess, or I'll make $10,000 a month or $100,000 a month. But if I told my computer I want to make $100 million a month, will my computer run that program? Or will it bring up error messages? You got to think about it like that. We're trying to install a belief. Whatever is more believable for us will be easily installed on our computer. That is what we are actually doing. If we can think of our mind, our subconscious, like our internal computer chip, or our CPU, and this affirmation method as a way to install programs, which there are many ways to install programs, we have to install programs that we can run on our device. We cannot do something that we think is unbelievable. I can affirm as much as I want that I want to fly. Why can I fly so well? Why can I fly? Why can I jump off of buildings and fly so effortlessly? And guess what? My computer system will not let me run that program. No matter how much I try, I will not be able to fly. That's just because of my hardwired belief, what my program is running on. My internal computer cannot run that. That is inconceptual to me. Number 2, guys, is inconsistent practice. That's mistake number 2. I have a lot of people coming to me saying they love robotic affirmation. They do it all the time. And I ask them how much times do they do it a day? They do it once, maybe if they remember to, once a day for like 5 minutes. That is not going to install anything into your mind. Your mind is a super ancient computer, right? It's the best computer we have in this entire world, but it's still super old. It's been created since, 10,000 BC. It's been around, right? This mind we have, it's not going to install programs that fast. We need to work with the hardware we have. And the hardware we have needs effort. It needs more consistency. It needs a certain set framework to install these programs. And what I would do to solve this problem is set aside 2 moments in your day, 2 15-minute blocks to remove this blocker, this inconsistency you have. You can do it anytime during the day, but I would prefer you to do it right before bed and right after you wake up, because that is the times during the day that we're more in the state of akin to sleep. The state akin to sleep is when your subconscious is more accessible. I can go into further explanation because the state of akin to sleep is a whole nother topic and a whole nother belief system on its own. But the theory here is once you're trying to go to bed, your mind, your subconscious opens up more because your intellectual mind is too tired to put up a fight. And that gives you more access to that computer chip, that internal computer for you to install programs on. All right, mistake number 3, guys. Mistake number 3. Do not overcomplicate. Why am I saying it like that? Do not overcomplicate the affirmations you're using. Do not come up with weird running on sentences for affirmations. And also, a lot of people don't know this. The way our computer works, the way everyone's computer works, everyone's mind works like this on a fundamental basis. We are intellectual beings, even at the subconscious level, and we come up with answers. We're problem solving. Male more than female. Males are more problem solving. So if we give the male mind specifically a question, the subconscious has to come up with an answer. And so the female, to a lesser extent, because females have less of that program written into their subconscious. They're more powered off of emotions, which is a whole nother topic, and which emotions are, I would say, are even more powerful than the acts. And what we can do together is realize that each subconscious mind has a role. We want to find answers. So if we want to find answers, we need to propose simple questions so we can easily get these answers. What simple question? So let's say I want to make $1 million a month. I would say something along the lines of this affirmation. Why am I making $1 million a month? Why is $1 million deposited into my bank account every month? Why am I making $1 million a month? Why am I making $1 million a month? If you propose this question, your mind will find answers and solutions subconsciously. You wouldn't know the answers right now, but they will come to you. And when they do come to you, it'll be almost like intuition. Mistake number 4, guys. Negative self-talk. Negative self-talk is a big one. We all have it, especially with the bigger affirmations. If I say I'm going to make $1 million a month, my mind sometimes gives me a negative answer. And this is not the subconscious mind. This is the intellectual mind. And intellectual mind feeds negative answers into your subconscious. And that it powers you on negative influence, which you do not want. The only thing you can do to combat negative self-talk is to recognize the negative self-talk and cast it aside. Cast it aside. So, what I mean cast it aside? As soon as you recognize it, you tell yourself, oh, I had this negative self-thought. When I said I would make $1 million, my negative self-talk is usually like, that's a big number, this, that. What I want to do is recognize I said that's a big number, and then push my mind back into a positive loop. You want to break out of the negative loop by recognizing the loop. Once you recognize the loop, you break out of it by pushing yourself into a positive loop. And if you can push yourself into a positive loop, that negative self-talk is neutralized. It still has an effect because negative self-talk is that. It is a blocker that we all have to deal with. The key here is to have less of it. So when you recognize the negative self-talk and push yourself into a positive loop, you end up having less negative self-talk throughout your time doing these robotic affirmations. And our last mistake, guys. We usually do affirmations for the sake of affirmations. What you have to do is do affirmations for the sake of passion. Passion is the strongest emotion we have in our arsenal. Passion. You need to install passion. If you can install passion along with your belief into your computer, your life will change drastically, rapidly, because passion drives us like no other. If I am more passionate about making $1 million because I want to affect as many lives as possible, if I can install passion and feel passion, my robotic affirmations will be multiplied in their effectiveness, because emotions are a strong multiplier and passion is the strongest emotion. So you guys want to use emotions when you're robotically affirming. The way you would do this is to pair your robotic affirmations with visualizations to install a form of passion. So if you want something very specific, you want to ask the question robotically to yourself for 15 minutes twice a day, and you want to also visualize. I would do the visualizations, if you can, during the robotic affirmations, because robotic affirmations just need to be said with no mental effort. If you're really talented, you can visualize as well at the same time. If you're not, you can do it right after. Right after. You want to do the visualization after the robotic affirmations, if possible. All right, so let's recap here. We said 5 things. So belief is important. It's very important to start with something that's believable for you to affirm. Although it will be possible for you to install belief by being persistent. It is better off to start with something that's believable and working your way up to better affirmations, because then you would get more rapid results. If you have to fully install a program that your system does not believe in, that program is going to have a lot of bugs, a lot of error messages, and it'll keep closing on you. And your mind wouldn't be able to handle it, so it'll take you a lot longer, if not happen at all. So you want to start with something that's believable and work your way up to the more bigger manifestations. Mistake number 2, consistency. You guys need to set aside 15 minutes twice a day. 15 minutes twice a day, and you need to be consistent. Do it right after you wake up and right before bed for the best results. And mistake number 3, keep your affirmations simple and ask a question when you use this technique, because questions imply that your subconscious needs to have an answer. And mistake number 4 is you need to replace negative self-talk with positive self-talk. So recognize when you have negative self-talk and manually replace them with positive self-talk to remove that from your entire being. Eventually you'll have a lot less negative self-talk, but it will take a little bit of time. But when it does happen, you will be a lot better for this practice of positive self-talk. It's an equal energy exchange. If you have a negative self-talk, do not ignore it, because it will keep coming back. Recognize it and replace it. Mistake number 5. Mistake number 5 is emotion. A lot of people do not use emotion properly. You need to have passion. Passion is the 100x force multiplier for manifestation. And we can do this by using visualizations during or after our robotic affirmations to install passion along with our robotic affirmations. All right, guys. Please, please, please leave a comment. I need to know how I'm doing with these videos, if they're getting better, if they're getting worse, if I need to change things. It'll be very helpful for me to provide better content for you guys. Also, if you want to share any of your affirmation stories, what have you been successful in affirming lately? I need to know what are you guys affirming, what works and what's not working for you guys, and how we can discuss solutions around these topics. Because the whole point here is I want to help, and in order to help, I need to know more. I plan on sharing more story-based content soon. I don't know how my content will progress, but it definitely will revolve a lot around robotic affirmations. But as we go, we'll evolve together. So, as always, love you guys. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next video. Peace.